A powerful earthquake off Alaska's southern coast has jolted some coastal groups and compelled some citizens to in brief scramble for higher ground over fears of a tsunami. Alaska. A effective earthquake off Alaska's southern coast jolted coastal communities overdue Tuesday, and some residents briefly scrambled for higher floor over fears of a tsunami. There had been no immediate reports of damage inside the moderately populated vicinity of the kingdom, and the tsunami warning changed into cancelled after the value 7.8 quake off the Alaska Peninsula produced a wave of a much less than a foot. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the earthquake struck Tuesday at 10:12 p.m. local time and was targeted in waters 65 miles, 105 kilometers, south-southeast of the tiny network of Perryville, at a depth of 17 miles, 28 kilometers. Because of the trembler's location, nearby communities along the Alaska Peninsula did no longer enjoy shaking that could generally be associated with that magnitude of a quake, said Michael West, Alaska state seismologist. That doesn't mean they slept through it, West said. Residents in small cities inside 100 miles, 160 kilometers, of the quake pronounced very strong shaking. Some shaking became additionally felt more than 500 miles, 805 kilometers, away within the Anchorage region, West stated. No reviews of any damage, Kodiak Police Sergeant Mike Sorter said early Wednesday morning. No accidents were stated. Everything is nominal. Kodiak is about 200 miles, 320 kilometers, northeast of wherein the earthquake changed into targeted. The tsunami caution caused coastal citizens to evacuate to better ground, with social media posts displaying lengthy traces of people fleeing cities like Homer and Kodiak as tsunami sirens wailed within the historical past. On Kodiak Island, the local high college and Catholic opened their doorways for evacuees, the Anchorage Daily News mentioned. We were given a high faculty complete of human beings, said Larry Ledoux, superintendent of the Kodiak School District. I've been passing out masks for the reason that first siren sounded, he informed the Daily News. Everything's as calm as may be. We were given probably 300, 400 human beings all wearing masks, he said before the caution changed into cancelled. Tsunami warnings are not unusual for folks that grew up in Kodiak. I've been doing these considering that I turned into a bit kid, Ledoux instructed the newspaper. Old information. Officials on the National Tsunami Warning Center in Palmer, Alaska, started calling off tsunami advisories and warnings after a wave of much less than 1 foot, 30 centimeters, become recorded within the community of Sand Point. I may have expected a touch bit extra water, however I'm happy that there wasn't, stated David Hale, the senior responsibility scientist on the Tsunami Center. Tuesday's quake changed into more effective than the significant 7.1 earthquake that triggered damage within the Anchorage vicinity in November 2018. This earthquake released about 15 instances as a great deal electricity as that earthquake, stated West, the kingdom seismologist. More than a dozen aftershocks of significance 4.0 or better were pronounced immediately after the earthquake, he said from the Alaska Earthquake Center at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. We got human beings right here who are going to be operating all night time, West stated early Wednesday morning. These aftershocks will cross and go and cross and go. The Alaska Aleutian Trench turned into also in which a magnitude 9.2 quake in 1964 turned into centered. That remains the second most powerful earthquake ever recorded. The trembler and resulting tsunami brought on tremendous damage and killed 131 people, a few as far away as Oregon and California. Alaska is the maximum actively seismic state. Nearly 25,000 earthquakes were recorded in Alaska considering that January 1st, consistent with the middle.